Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. As you can see up here on the screen today, we have an LCS Academy roster update for TSM. One of their supports is having some visa issues, might not be able to start out the season, and that's causing some issues for the TSM team. But also, I want to kind of expand this out to say it might cause some issues to some LCS teams and stuff going on. Obviously, if teams and players are having visa issues, which you never want to see, this could be a thing that's popping up. So there is a lot to talk about, a lot going on here, what TSM's plans are going forward in the future, what they're going to be doing, and all that good stuff. But we'll run through all of that in this video today. But before we get into it, I just want to mention real quick, if you're not already subscribed, definitely click that subscribe button really quick. It's fast, it's free, it's easy. It helps you guys stay up to date on all my latest content, and I would appreciate it a ton as well. I think we recently just hit like 5,500 subscribers, hopefully 6,000. I know it sounds like a crazy number, but hopefully in the next couple months we can get there. That would be awesome. Just an awesome way to start 2021. Also, dropping a like on this video if you enjoy my content, if you enjoy what we do here on this channel, also helps me out a ton, helps me out in the YouTube algorithm, kind of getting my videos seen more and more out there, because that's obviously the goal here. We're making a bunch of videos, it's fun, I love it, but we're trying to grow, we're trying to get bigger, trying to get our name out there more, and that's how you guys could help me do that. So with that being said, here we go, getting right into this. TSM tweeted out that they're adding a sixth man to their LCS Academy roster. They said, please welcome our newest support, Fizzi, LOL, to TSM. So honestly, I don't know much about this Fizzi guy. I know he played collegiate League of Legends last year. I think it was like Harrisburg University. Seems like he's bounced around a ton of amateur teams, maybe even a couple different universities and stuff. But he's been pretty good from what I've seen in like collegiate and amateur leagues. People seem to know who he is. He's also been very, very high ranked challenger. I think I saw a tweet where he was ranked 9th in challenger. I don't know if he ever got higher than that. I don't know if he peaked 9th, but that was sometime in 2020. So the guy for sure has some talent, but again, just being a high ranking solo queue player doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to be a beast. Also, I was not able to find out how old he is, but I'm assuming he's not too old if obviously he's been in the collegiate scene, but I guess you could be any age, but Gamepedia didn't have his age or anything like that, so I'm assuming he's a young up and coming guy, but I'm not for sure. He could be like 18, 19, he could be like 20, 21, 22. I'm really not sure, but Fizzi is coming over, and again, people are pretty excited about him. He's getting a lot of love on Twitter, and obviously TSM reaching out to somebody, that must mean there's something there. At the very, very least, they see something in him, so that is exciting. But the bigger story here is something that Leaker Zoo tweeted out. This was 12 hours ago. He said, yo, why is no one talking about this? Fizzi will be the starting TSM Academy support until Yursan's visa gets approved. So a couple big things there. One, TSM just tweeted out, hey, we're adding a sixth guy to the academy team, but really they're adding a replacement because they're having visa issues, and they didn't say that, but that is obviously a bigger story. One, just because TSM Academy, they signed Yursan and they were hoping to get him over. This is a guy coming over from Taiwan. He's like 19 years old. He had pretty good stats on a not very good team over in Taiwan, or maybe they were solid, but they didn't have great records or anything like that. But he did really stand out. Obviously, stood out enough to get in academy spot with TSM. Obviously, they see him hopefully being the future of the support for them if they think he can work out. A young guy with a ton of talent, a ton of promise. Sword Art is a little bit of an older pro. Who knows if he'll stick around in North America, how long he wants to keep playing professionally, or how many that's going to work out. So TSM does need to build towards the future. And if they think Yursan is their guy, obviously getting him over here, getting him playing games, synergizing with the team, getting acclimated to North America and all that stuff is going to be really, really important, especially if he's a guy that they see a lot of hope and promise and talent in. Because we saw like last year with Broxa getting his visa stuff messed up, that if you have visa issues at the beginning of the season, it can honestly derail like your entire season. You start out behind a bunch of other teams in terms of like scrimming and stuff. You're behind a bunch of other teams in terms of just synergizing and everything. And if Fizzi comes in and plays well, I mean, Yursan could end up like losing a job out of this or something, which would be really, really unfortunate to see. But obviously Fizzi has a big opportunity. He needs to come in, give it everything he's got, and really just pop off. But either way, I think it'll be interesting to see. I think Fizzi's in a great opportunity. He gets to play with Cody Sun in the academy scene. They should be able to pop off in the bot lane once Yursan eventually gets his visa stuff figured out. Hopefully he should be good to go, and I am very, very excited to see just how good he is, because I've heard a lot about him, but I have not been able to see much of him play. But a bigger, more concerning story about this whole thing is that teams are having visa issues. Yes, this is just an academy player, and I'm not sure exactly how academy players are looked at differently than professional like LCS players in terms of the whole visa issue. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on visas or on just any kind of government, whatever you want to call it, because it is so complicated, and most of us have no idea what we're even talking about when we get into any of that stuff. But I know I talked about Alfari maybe having potential visa issues before, just because he has not been able to make it to, or he has not made it to the United States yet. And he said that, you know, they were still trying to figure out some visa things and everything. I don't remember if that was on Twitter or Instagram or whatever. But that would be very concerning. And people were kind of like flaming Team Liquid, like, oh, not again, Team Liquid, how are you going to let this happen? Terrible management, blah, 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 blah. But now we really find out that it doesn't so much have to do with the management or anything like that necessarily. It's just a very complex, complicated process. And in the end, it seems kind of random who's able to get through, how fast they're able to get it done, because TSM signed Sword Art, another Taiwanese guy, and they've already been able to get him over to the United States. They signed Yursan maybe a little bit after Sword Art, but at a similar time, and now, you know, they're having visa issues with him. So the same organization, same country, again, obviously being a professional League of Legends player, so you'd think it would be a lot of the same paperwork, a lot of the same process. Who knows if the papers were filled out different with a different person, with different organization? You know, who knows exactly how it worked out? But it doesn't necessarily mean that Team Liquid has had bad management. Maybe it does. Maybe they're doing something wrong. Maybe they don't have the right connections. Maybe they don't have the right hookups. But also, maybe they're just getting a little bit unlucky. Or maybe Alfari is going to get this all straightened out and he's going to be ready to go before the season starts. But visa issues suck. Obviously, things have gotten worse during the pandemic, during the coronavirus. Travel's harder. Getting in and out of a lot of different countries is harder. Just being able to leave your country is hard. Being able to come to the United States is hard. And then even being able to return home, which a lot of people are concerned about as well eventually, is just really troubling. So there is a lot going on, and I hope that these things get figured out. I think most of the big name players and most of just the starting LCS players in general have actually made it to the United States, have gotten all their stuff figured out. Two guys I have heard though is Alfari, I still don't believe is in the United States, and maybe Jose Diodo as well, I don't believe is in the United States yet. And again, the lock-in tournament starts in 11 days. Teams have started scrimming already. I believe TSM started scrimming like almost a week ago. So it is a little bit concerning if players and teams still don't have their players in the United States, if they don't have them there on site, scrimming, getting ready. Yes, the lock-in tournament does not make that much of a difference. It's not that big of a deal, but these preseason scrims where other teams are starting to build up synergies and starting to work together and learn a playstyle and stuff, those could be a big deal. And once the lock-in tournament's over, then we're going to head right into the spring split, and that is going to be a big deal, especially during this season where all the games count throughout the whole year. And if you're losing games in the spring split, that could have a lasting impact on your entire season. It could affect your summer split. It could affect whether or not you make it to Worlds, and it could just be a really big thing. Again, I'm not 100% sure that Jose Diodo is not in the United States, but I believe I did hear that. I've not seen any like content or anything from him in the United States yet. And if Alfari, if Jose Diodo, two of the new bigger import signings, are not able to come into the LCS right away, if they're not able to make it to the lock-in tournament, if they're not going to make it into the parts of the spring split, and they're going to have to miss games and stuff, that would really put a damper on this season, because this is expected to be one of the most exciting LCS seasons ever. We have had so many big roster moves. So many teams got so much better in this offseason, and there is a lot of hype, promise, and talent in the LCS for like the first time in a couple of years, really, it seems like. And that's so exciting. Not only do I want these teams to be able to come together and start practicing and start getting better and stuff, but I want every team to be at their best, so it's better practice and competition for the other teams. Because I think the more good teams, the more good players, the more good playstyles and everything we have, the better we build up our teams, that's going to be just better for the whole league, for the whole ecosystem, for every single player and team involved. So right now we see that TSM is having some visa issues. They're going as far as to even signing another player as to be ready for the start of the academy season. And without these things go, we don't know how long it's going to take for Yursan. Just because they signed Fizzi, Yursan's I mean, his visa could theoretically, I guess, be approved by tomorrow. Maybe they've heard word that it's going to take a little longer. It's not going to be ready on time or whatever. But it does seem like people don't really know when to expect these things to be done. So this could be precautionary, or they could know that something else is going on here. And we haven't heard from some of these other organizations and stuff. But if TSM is having issues, some other teams and players could definitely be having issues as well. Again, this is just for an academy player, so maybe it's a little bit of a different situation. I'm not exactly sure, and maybe we shouldn't overreact too much. But just at least know that this is possible, and to not necessarily blame the organizations, because we see, you know, it's just really a case-by-case basis. Things are crazy right now. Things are really different, but I am excited for this stuff. I hope Fizzi comes in, makes the most of this opportunity. I hope Yursan is able to get here before too long, and I hope all of the LCS teams, starting rosters, players, and all that stuff are able to avoid visa issues as well. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Leaker Zoo asked why no one was talking about this, so I had to talk about it. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed this video. Again, it helps me out a ton. I would appreciate it. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about this situation? Do you think Fizzi's going to come in and be a beast? What do you think about Yursan? What do you think about the visa issues in general? And just how hyped up are you guys for the LCS season? 11 days away. It's going to be so much fun. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on anything we talked about. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.